Welcome back to Brews with the Homies. This is another iteration of the Bite series. This is a series where we do a deep dive on the beer that we're having. And this week's episode is hosted by Brews with JB.
How's it going, guys? So we're going to be doing a beer that we got from Beer Zombies. This one is going to be Baller Baracus. It's from 3 breweries that we enjoy. It's going to be Beer Zombies, Mason Ale Works, and Horus Aged Ales. So Baller Baracus is going to be a Mead Barrel Aged Barley Wine. So with this, we've had a lot of barley wines from Horus. We've done episodes on them. We got the box right here, if you can see it. And we love their barley wines. To see Beer Zombies team up with them and Mason Ale Works to get this into our hands, I was super excited because to have a mead kind of aspect with a barley wine, I've never had it, never tried it.
Have you ever had it in a can?
A mead?
A barley wine or a mead?
Like not like them together, have them separately, but when you do like a mead barrel one, we've had a stout because there was an 8-bit and Beer Zombies collab that did that kind of mead inspired flavor in the stout, and we've done an episode on that one. That one was really good. We really got some like strawberry characteristics from it, and so this is what kind of drew me to this one. I had it and I would have never guessed at 16%, but that's what it is. So 16 ounces at 16% ABV. I'm excited for you guys to try this. I had it at the shop with Andrew, and I drank the whole thing. I was like, man, beautiful beer, one of my favorites. So let's turn it over to you guys. I want to know your thoughts, and we'll go into it a little bit more.
This kind of reminds me, just like looking at it in the glass, reminds me of a really, really dark Coke.
Yeah, it kind of has that characteristic. It's not as like normal barley wines that I've had are usually a little bit more of a caramel color. This one's a little bit darker than I'm used to in a barley wine. But the smell, you have like a little bit of sour. You could kind of tell that like mead is in there just from that smell. Like, because when you get a normal barley wine, you never really get a lot of like kind of sweet berry, but a little sourness on the nose. So
I like that, yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I've had this one, a couple days ago at Boulder City, and Josh was like, hey man, you should try this. You should you would really like it. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm gonna try it. And Heron, when he first tried it, he kind of had a little bit different opinion than Joseph.
Yes.
So like my level of interest was there, and I've tried it and I enjoyed it. I still enjoy it to this day. I mean, it's delicious. It's not heavy. It's light. It's tasteful. And
it's super drinkable, right?
Yeah.
For the ABV. What's crazy about this one, when you kind of dive into the story behind it, it was aged for over a year in the mead barrels. So you get a subtle like berry flavor, but you still get the vanilla from the oak of the barrel that it was aged in, and it's non-adjunct. So that way, there's no other flavors trying to take over. It's all from the barrel, and it's a great just collaboration from the 3. I think it's probably one of my favorite unique barley wines. To have a unique flavor like this, to mix it up, mash it up, and bring something different to a barley wine is so cool and interesting for me that it's like a wow factor. When I taste this, I'm always like, wow on the ABV, because can't really taste that. It's drinkable. I still get a little bit of the origin from a barley wine, but then I get the little subtleness from everything else. So for me, they knocked out of the park. Heron, I want you to go a little bit more in depth of what you're tasting, how you feel about it, because I know when we first talked about it, there was a little bit different in opinions. So
yeah, I mean, I get I kind of get blueberry throughout. So when I get the aroma, it's kind of like a blueberry tartness.
Okay.
And then when I taste it at the beginning, it's like that blueberry sweetness. And then it finishes with like a blueberry bitterness.
Yeah.
And clearly there's more layers in there, but that's kind of like what I'm sensing throughout. Like the tartness, sweetness, and bitterness of a blueberry. And all the other flavors I can kind of, I don't know. It just kind of confuses me.
Yeah, it kind of confuses, yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I get.
Because I know people mention on the Untapped, what we like to do is look on there, see what the ratings are, but there's a couple different flavors people usually pick up, berries, maybe like a wine-ish kind of taste to it. Doesn't have a lot of check-ins. I think when I checked last, it was the average rating was like 4.4.
Yeah, right now it's at 4.4 with 15 check-ins.
Okay, yeah. So I would rate it, like, for me, at this level of complexity from what I've had in barley wines in the past, for uniqueness, I would probably rate it a 5 because I would reach for this all the time in terms of how much I like funky stuff like this. And to have it in a barley wine, and if I don't want to drink a lot that night, 16% right off the bat, like, it's a perfect
one beer
wine.
and you're done.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm a little bit more than here. I like to have this and then have like a nice like double or triple.
Oh, he's going crazy. He's going crazy.
That's my favorite. But that's what works for me. You know, what would you have after this? I think or what would you pair with this food wise?
Food wise?
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I had an answer for you for the beer, but food wise?
I do the beer first, then the food.
All right, beer wise, it's actually a beer that just came out from Beer Zombies. It's the Axe.
Axe Vengeance.
Axe Vengeance. I had that actually, so it was funny. I had this one first, and then I had the Axe Vengeance on tap. And let me tell you, that combination was like a 1-2 perfect.
Perfect for you. Yeah.
What is that, a double IPA?
Yeah. Yes, double IPA. I had it in the can. I thought it was like a little bit on the greener side.
Oh, but have it on tap.
Yes. So
please
you recommended it. Josh recommended it to me.
Please have it on tap.
So I did. Yeah, you guys both recommended it to me, so I had to. So last time I went in there for Big Beer Sunday, I had to get on tap, and it was definitely a little bit more creamy, a little bit more smooth. Still had some hop flavor, a little like green hop, but it was a lot more balanced, and I really enjoyed that.
Well, let me tell you, at Boulder City, it was a little toasty, and when you have a double, it was perfect.
When it's a little warm up there, you know, you want a nice, refreshing beer.
Like these heavy ass beers, like what, are you falling asleep right after? Or
no, I'm just enjoying life.
Yeah, chilling.
Food wise, I can see like pizza going well with this.
Okay, like so you have really contrasting flavors. For me, I could see myself eating like at Skinny Fats. I always get like a burger and stuff. Like it'll go well with that. But I would like a dessert with this. I feel like the complex flavor, that like blueberry that you're talking about, I would definitely go with like a nice. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of like a blueberry pie or like berry kind of pie, I don't know. Just drinking this kind of makes me crave it. Like I want like a pie with
or
this.
like a muffin too.
Oh,
like a blueberry muffin.
Yeah,
dude, I got a blueberry muffin at the house. I should have just brought it.
Yeah, that would have been a good pairing.
Well, should have just brought it.
Heron,
I don't know what I was thinking.
Since you are kind of, I feel like, leaning towards the lighter beer side, what lighter beer would you kind of pair with this to like really go after? Like, would you try to get something that kind of cleans your palate, or just something to like kind of piggyback off of this flavor?
I think I would go something like I don't know, maybe some wheat beer that kind of changes it up a little bit. You know, because this is very like, it would be a little bit roasty, like barley wines would be, and you just kind of want something that is a little more refreshing, a little more different, but still hazy. It still has that haze character to it.
I like that.
The wheat beers kind of come in, kind of like a Blue Moon would, right?
Yeah,
essentially, like where they have a little bit of citrus in there and just fun.
Yeah, so I like that because like when you go from, this is what I've always talked about, I love having multiple beers at a time, or like when we do the flight episodes, because I could really go from flavor to flavor and like contrast and compare. And I think this would work for the double IPA, for the lighter beer, like something like wheat beer.
1 minute left.
Yeah, so it would be a perfect kind of balance. But I mean, I'm glad to have this beer. We've been waiting for a long time for it, and to have these three breweries come out with a great beer, we appreciate it. We always enjoy it.
I have one quick question for Heron.
Go for it.
Heron, does this remind you of a watered down espresso? I've never had one, so that's kind of why I'm asking.
No, I mean, the body on this one is very light.
Yeah, for a barley wine, it is very light. So,
I mean, this, I don't know, if you under extract your espresso, it's going to come out a little sour, and that's kind of like what you get out of this one based on that mead,
Yeah,
I guess.
I think you saw that on like an Untapped review, right? Like,
no, when I first had the sip just now, like with you guys, I looked at it and I was like, man, this kind of looks like an espresso, and then I had it and I was like, Maybe this is what an espresso tastes like, because I've never had one.
So what we need to do is have espresso with Underberg.
Yes.
And then we need to mix those two and have it together.
All right, well, we finished up. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.